Welcome to the Lifestyle You podcast. I'm your host and health and fitness coach, Jenna Altman, and I'm so glad that you're here. Health and fitness don't have to be that complicated. Do you want to achieve a body you're proud of, gain physical and mental energy, and grow your confidence without giving up date night with your partner or starving yourself? The Lifestyle You podcast will provide you with the tools that you need to make your health and fitness fit into your lifestyle, not the other way around. The stories, lessons, and actionable takeaways from original episodes and guest interviews on this podcast will not only allow you to break through those limiting fears and beliefs, but also find freedom and confidence in the way that you move and fuel your body so that you can live your strongest, healthiest, and happiest life. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to take a minute to introduce you to the Summer Flex training program. This is a brand new 8-week fitness coaching program for high-achieving women like you who want to incorporate more flexibility, create more consistency, and get stronger, leaner, and more athletic with quick and effective workouts. The Summer Flex training program was designed to help you create more flexibility in your movement routine while juggling the beach trips, time off, and holidays. This program will be launching in June, but it is really important that you are signed up for the waitlist because this is where I am going to have early access, early details, as well as exclusive bonuses. So make sure that you are signed up. I cannot wait to get stronger with you this summer. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lifestyle You podcast. Today, I am super excited to chat with you about 5 reasons why your training program isn't working. Okay, so this episode is going to be for you if you feel like you're pushing hard in the gym, but not seeing results. I think this is something that so many of my prospective clients come to me for, is they feel like they're doing all of these things right. They feel like they're showing up at the gym. They feel like they're taking so much time out of their day to dedicate to their health and fitness. And they feel like their body and their mind are just not in the place that they should be for the amount of work that they're putting in. And so there are so many different schools of thought out there as to which exercise is best. So if you've been hanging out with me long enough, you probably know by now that I am a big advocate for strength training. That doesn't mean that I don't support other forms of training. I think that there are times and places for other activities, and those can absolutely be included, especially if you enjoy them. But if we are looking to get lean, strong, and build a healthy body, especially for females, we need to be strength training. So if you haven't already listened, I do have an episode that talks about the reasons why you should be strength training. So make sure you go back and listen to that one. But it's honestly one of the things I think is the biggest problem about strength training, as you may know it, is it's kind of easy to be fooled into believing that you're actually doing strength training. And what I mean by that is because a lot of group fitness classes are now including dumbbell work, right? And they're calling it like strength circuit or, the circuit training. And then you also have some like cardio component as a part of that. And it's not your fault, right? It's not your fault that this is confusing because you didn't study fitness. So you expect that the program that you're following is actually legit. You're actually paying a couple $100s for it a month probably. But unfortunately, that's just not always the case. Good news is I'm here to help you. So let's chat about 5 reasons why your training program isn't working for you. So number 1, you're not lifting heavy enough. So ladies, you will never get stronger or tone your body with 2.5, 5, 8, 12-pound weights, okay? Make sure that you are actually pushing your body to work harder and build more muscle by picking up weights that challenge you. So I just said muscle. Oh my goodness. Are we getting nervous? Don't get nervous. It is so unlikely for you to actually get bulky as a result of strength training. So please, let's put that away for now. I do also mention that in that prior episode that I mentioned earlier too. But in order to tone your body, you need to be lifting heavier weights. And at the end of your set, this is the way that I think people should look at it. This is how I tell my clients to look at it. At the end of your set, you shouldn't have the capacity to do another 10 reps or jump right into your next set, or need to be doing jumping jacks in between your sets, or need to do some form of cardio. I remember when I worked in person at a local gym, when I taught group fitness, there was always a person in the class that would be like jumping around in the middle of their sets. And it's like, no, if you're actually lifting heavy, you do not have energy to utilize to be jumping around for that workout, right? That's why it's so important that you're actually monitoring and paying attention to the weights that you are lifting. So this might be one of the big mistakes that you're making in your journey. It's probably the most common one that I see. But Here's another one that comes along a lot. Number 2, you're doing too much variety. So I understand. Literally, as humans, one of our basic needs is variety. But this does not serve you well in the realm of training, especially if you're looking to build muscles. I know you love that no workout is ever the same at your favorite group fitness studio, but that is the only way to build muscle and tone your body. You need to be repeating similar movements over and over again to see progress. And the reason being is because you need to be training those muscles, reactivating them every session, and really getting stronger in those movement patterns. And so really, when it comes down to it, in terms of strength training, you probably have heard, or you may not have, but powerlifting is really 3 main lifts. So it's a deadlift, it's a bench press, and it's a squat, right? So those are like the 3 main lifts in a power lifter. When we're talking more about strength training, we're talking probably more variety than that, right? So roughly looking at squatting, pushing, so that can be chest press, that can be push-ups, any overhead presses. We're also talking about pulling, so that's going to be things like rows, pull-ups, etc. We also have knee dominant exercises, and those are going to be our things like our squats, and lunges and things like that. And then we also have our hip dominant exercises. So those are going to be things like deadlifts, kettlebell swings, etc. So basically, you just need to repeat those movements over and over again in order to be successful and to build muscle, okay? It is as simple as that. You don't need a ton of variety, and often it's actually getting in the way of making progress. Number 3, you're doing too much cardio. Oh man, I know this one stings because I completely understand. I was a cardio junkie for years too. It's how I got into training on my own after I stopped playing sports. But running isn't going to help you lose weight unless you're just a sedentary person who just started moving your body. Then you're going to lose weight no matter what movement you add in. So for someone like you who's probably already pretty active, a big health and fitness enthusiast, this cardio is actually conflicting with the gains that you're trying to make in the gym, right? So you are overdoing it, burning these excess calories, and most likely not eating enough, which is a whole nother problem. And so really the cardio sessions are almost going against your ability to gain muscle, right? And then your body's doing too much and we're not able to really utilize the energy intake to help us build muscle. So really just be careful with the cardio that you are doing. Make sure that it is moderate. Again, this is if you want to build a lean, toned body, right? If that's not your goal and you are competing you're competing in marathons and things like that, then great, do your cardio. But you should also be incorporating some element of strength training just from an overall health perspective. Number 4, you're rushing through your movements. Faster is not better when it comes to strength training. You need to slow down, my friend. If you're moving too fast, your body is missing the chance to actually work and can often lead to injury. So take your time, slow down your pace, and really feel your body working hard to complete the lift. So it's not about who gets the most amount of exercises in. It's not about the person who finishes the workout the earliest. Really, this is one of those things where we tend to believe that just because we're rushing through, we're sweating, we're getting all this work in, we're getting 25 reps in, right? Like that's not where we're actually getting the work in terms of building muscle and getting stronger. So it's really important that you are slowing down those movements. A lot of cues that I like to utilize with clients are really just using some counts in your head. So if you're in a squat position, maybe you're lowering down into that squat for 2 seconds, and then maybe you're holding just at the bottom for a second, and then you're coming up. So really like counting down, adding that tempo in, that can be really helpful for starting to slow down those movement patterns. Number 5, you're not consistent enough. So contrary to popular belief, you can be making progress on 2 to 3 strength trainings per week, but you need to be committed to that if you want to keep making progress. So often I feel like we put this idea in our heads that we need to be working out like 5-6 days a week, and it's just unrealistic for most people. And so you might feel like you're struggling to even get, a few workouts in consistently. And that's why it's more important. So I'd rather you maybe tone it back, maybe focus on just those 2 to 3 sessions and make it a little bit more achievable of a goal for yourself, right? Something that you can actually stick with and commit to. And you most likely will see more progress from that than being the person who is working out 4 or 5 days a week, putting all this pressure on yourself to do it. And then, come 2 weeks later, you're not working out at all. So really trying to find something that you can be consistent with is key here. So today is food for thought. Which reason or reasons do you think attribute to your lack of progress in your training program? So would love to hear. Message me on Instagram at Jenna Ray Altman and let's chat about it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for listening to the Lifestyle You podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a 5-star rating and review to help others discover the magic we're creating together. If there's someone in your life who could benefit from listening to this episode, be sure to forward it along to them. You can also follow me on Instagram at Jenna Ray Altman for more helpful content, resources, and good vibes. As always, thank you so much for being here.